Hello there and welcome to a brand new lesson. This is Hub Beyond Numbers where we learn maths the easy way. In this lesson, we are looking at BECE question 5a, and it is on simplification of sets. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to simplify square roots by finding the perfect square factors. You should be able to rationalize the denominator containing sets, and then finally, you should be able to express your answer as a plus b root c, where a, b, and c are all integers. On our left hand side are solutions to the exercises I gave on question 5b. You can look at it and then compare your answers and do the necessary correction. Without much ado, let's quickly look into it. So looking at the question, it says we have to simplify root 72 all over root 18 minus root 12, leaving the answer in the form a plus b root c, where a, b, and c are integers. This is a typical said question. Before we answer, let's quickly look at the concept of sets and then some basic laws that we need to know. So for a set expression, right from indices, we have to note that if you have a square root of the product of two numbers, it is evaluated as the product of the set of the two numbers. So that is root a times root b. This is what it becomes. And also, if we have the square root of the quotient of two numbers, it is equal to the quotient of the set of the two numbers. So root a over root b. And then when you have the square root of a all squared, it is equal to what? A. Because the square root is simply written as to the power half. So if you are multiplying all that by 2, then this half takes out this 2, and you have what? A. These are the basic laws in sets that is going to help us solve the question. Finally, there is one we call the conjugate set. Now, sets are irrational numbers, and to make sure they become rational, we multiply them by their conjugate. So the conjugate of a set is simply another set that multiplies the given set to make it rational. So for monomial sets such as root of a, their conjugates are just themselves. So we have root of a times root of a, that gives us a. This is an irrational. This is an irrational term. This is also an irrational term, but then they give us a rational term. For binomial sets, if you have a plus or minus root of b, its conjugate is simply you negating the sign you have. By negation, I mean if it is a plus over here, root b, then its conjugate becomes a minus root b. If it is a minus root b, then its conjugate also becomes a plus root b. So with all this said, if you want to solve a said question, you first need to simplify the numerator. That is, if it is in a fraction form, simplify the numerator. You simplify the denominator, and then you now rationalize and then do your necessary simplification. So let's proceed to solve the question. So we have the square root of 72 all over the square root of 18 minus the square root of 12. Before we proceed, we have to simplify all of this, okay? So for the square root of 72, in order to simplify, you look for a perfect square. That is a factor of what we have here. The perfect squares are simply, we start from 1, but then most of the times, let's start from 4. So we have 4. How do we obtain them? You multiply all the counting numbers by themselves. So 2 times 2, 4. We have 3 times 3, which gives us a 9. Then 4 times 4, which gives us a 16. 5 times 5, we have a 25. And then 6 times 6 gives us a 36. 7 times 7, we have a 49. And it goes on and on and on. If you know this, at least you'll be good to go. Now, among all of these that I've written, which of them is a factor of 72? Which of them divides 72 without a remainder? It is obviously 36. So instead of 72, we rewrite it as 36 times 2. You see, it is this law we want to apply. So 72 becomes what? Root 36 times 2. Then once again, applying the law, it is going to be root of 36, then times root of 2. You see? So we know the root of 36 simply gives us a 6. So we have 6, then times root 2. We have 6 root 2. This is how we write it. You see? So we then come to the 18, and then we do all for all these sets. So that we write them in their simplest form, after which we can now solve. So root of 18, we have root of 18, and among the perfect squares we wrote, which is a factor of 18? We have 9. So the 18 becomes square root of 9 times 2, which then becomes the square root of 9 times the square root of 2. And square root of 9 simply gives us a 3. So we have 3 root 2. And so for 12 as well, if we look at all the perfect squares, it is 4. That is a factor of 12. So we rewrite our 12 as the square root of 4 times 3, which then gives us root 4 times root 3. Root of 4 simply gives us a 2. So we have 2 times root 3, which then gives us a 2 root 3. So now that we have this, we are going to rewrite this whole thing in terms of the simplified sets we have here. So that instead of root 72, we are going to write 6 root 2. Then all over. Instead of root 18, we are going to write 3 root 2. So we have 3 root 2. Then minus, instead of root 12, we are going to substitute that with root 2 root 3. So the first stage is done. We have simplified the numerator and also simplified the denominator. The next thing to do is to rationalize the denominator. As I said earlier on, we don't write fractions with irrational denominators. So we would have to rationalize it. When it comes to rationalization of sets, monomial sets have conjugates, which are they themselves. When we talk of conjugate, it is the set that you use to multiply the other to make it rational. So for a monomial set such as root a, its conjugate is what? Also root a. So for instance, if you take root of 2, which is a radical, if you have to multiply it by itself, that is root of 2, which I would want us to do here, you're going to get root 2 all squared, or also written as root 4, because you have 2 times 2 giving you 4. And when you simplify this, you are going to get a 2. So this is for monomials, but for binomial set expressions, such as a, let's say a plus or minus root b, their conjugate is simply changing the sign. So if it is plus, you change it to minus. Hence, this conjugate is a minus root of b. So that if we want to multiply by each other, let's see what is going to happen. A times a gives us an a squared. Then a times negative root b gives us a root b. That is a negative one, of course. Then root b times a would also give us a positive a root b. Then root b times negative root b gives us a negative root b all squared. Simplifying further, you realize that this is a negative of this, hence they cancel out. And then at the end of the day, we only have our a squared, and then this takes out this to give us a minus b. So you realize that initially it was a radical expression, and we have rationalized it so that it has become what? A rational expression. So that is the same thing we want to do right here. So for 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3, its conjugate as we changing this sign here to what? Positive. And the rule says whatever you do to the denominator, you'd have to do the same to the numerator. So that is to say, if you are going to multiply the whole denominator by its conjugate, then we have to do the same to the numerator so that our fractions value will be preserved. Hence, we have 6 root 2 times 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. That is for the numerator. Then for the denominator, we have 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3 multiplying itself. That is 3 root 2 then plus 2 root 3. So we then open our brackets. This term is going to multiply all we have here. Then it will also multiply all we have here as well. So that we have 6 root 2 times 3 root 2. That gives us a 6 times 3, which is an 18. So 18, then we have root 2 squared. 6 root 2 times 2 root 3 gives us 6 times 2, which is a 12. And then we have root 2 times 3. That gives us a 6. Then we have all over. So we do the same evaluation also for the denominator. We have 3 root 2, which would also multiply this 3 root 2. So we have 3 times 3, that gives us a 9. Then root 2 times root 2 would give us root 2 all squared. Then we have 3 root 2 times the second we have here. So we have 3 times 2, which then gives us a 6. Then root 2 times root 3 will then give us a root 6. Then we come to this times everything in the bracket. So negative 2 times 3 would give us a negative 6. So we have negative 6, then root 3 times 2 gives us a 6. Then we have negative 2 times 2. That also gives us a negative 4. Then root 3 times root 3 gives us root 3 all squared. Now, because of the squares, there are some simplifications we'll have to do. So for the square, it is going to take out the radical sign. Why? Because in indices, we said if you have root of a is the same as a raised to the power half. If you are squaring all of this, that is this, then what happens is this 2 cancels out this 2 and we left with what? A raised to the power 1. So anytime you have a radical sign and it is squared again, we just remove the radical sign. So that this here gives us an 18 times 2. And we have plus 12 root 6 all over. We have 9 times 2 because it's a radical sign squared. So 9 times 2. Then what happens here? If you observe what you have carefully, you realize that this is the same as this, but then they are of opposite signs. So they will just cancel out each other, you see. And then we'll be left with our negative 4, then root 3 all squared, which would also remain 3. So after this, we do our necessary substitution. We have 18 times 2, which will give us a 36. So we have 36 plus 12 root 6. That can be simplified further, so we leave it as it is. Then all over 9 times 2 gives us an 18. So we have 18 and minus 4 times 3 gives us a 12. Simplifying further, we have 36 plus 12 root 6 all over 18 minus 12, which is a 6. But if we look at our question demanded that we present our answer as a plus b root c. So we have to present our answer as a plus b root 6 root c. Meanwhile, look at what we've gotten. So we have a 36 plus 12 root 6. So is there a way we can rewrite this here to look like this? Yes. If you have a plus b all over c, it is the same as a over c then plus b over c. You see, the denominator affects both terms. So we are going to apply the same thing over here. So that we have a 36 over 6, you see, then plus 12 over 6 root 6. So simplifying further, we have 36 over 6, which is a 6. So 6 plus 12 over 6, that gives us a 2. Then with our root 6 over here. And if you have to compare that to a plus b root c, then you realize that our a, which is our constant, is the 6. And then the b is the 2 we have here. That is the coefficient of the radical. So b is 2, and then c is 6 as well. And that is just all. So this is how we solve the third question. It simplify both numerator and denominator. You rationalize denominator and then let it affect the numerator, and then you simplify. Hence solved. So as we usually do, I'm going to leave you with 5 exercises so you try on your own to test your understanding. The answers will be reviewed at the beginning of the next lesson. If there's any issue of concern, you can always let me know at the comment section. Let's have your numbers where you learn maths the easy way. If this is your first time on this channel, I think it will be of help to you. You can choose to subscribe if you so do wish, so that any time I release a video, you'll be notified as well. See you in our next lesson. That is question 5b, which has to do with inequalities. Bye for now, and do stay safe.